Hi everyone, Chris Natsky here with Superfoot System, and welcome to Superfoot Stories. Stories from the life and times of Bill Superfoot Wallace. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. You guys are okay? You're okay?
I'm great, sir.
Superb.
Excellent, excellent. So in our last episode, what we did is Grandmaster Wallace was talking about his early days once he came back to the United States, being still in the service, and started going into martial arts competition. Then, sir, what happened was you got discharged in '67.
June 9th, 1967.
You remember that date, don't you?
That day is a day that lives in infamy.
Exactly, exactly. So anyway, then you go back to Indiana, and what happens when you get to Indiana?
Well, my father wanted me to be a school teacher. So he enrolled me, with my okay, of course, at Ball State University, the school he went to, in a teaching curriculum. I was going to be a school teacher. So I come and I rest all. Now, here's what's funny. I go back to Indiana, and I remember meeting friends out in California, right? August 1st, the first weekend in August, every year, there was a big tournament in Long Beach, California, called the Internationals.
Yeah.
And a friend said, "Why don't you come on out? I've been paid. I got money, you know, from the service and all that stuff." So I said, "Heck, why not?" So I drove out to Long Beach with a friend, met some of the guys that I was in service with, and went to Long Beach, California. I went to watch the tournament. So I'm at the tournament watching, you know, the funny thing is, I watched Joe Louis beat the living crap out of everybody in the heavyweight division. But Chuck Norris was the defending champion. No, excuse me, I'm wrong. Alan Steen was the defending champion.
Oh.
So Joe Louis won his division, the heavyweight division. Skipper Mullins won his division, which was the lightweight division. And Chuck Norris won the middleweight division. Chuck Norris fights Skipper Mullins, beats him. Joe Louis fights Alan Steen, the defending champion, and beats him. Now it's between Chuck Norris and Joe Louis for the grand championship. Now, I didn't know any of these guys, you know, just from what people told me.
Right.
And I'm watching Joe just, you know, beat something. Scary to just look at. He'd do this and you see these golf balls at the end of his knuckles, right? So I'm going, you know. So and Chuck's dancing around, moving all over the place. And what I remember very simply is Chuck threw a rear leg roundhouse kick, stepped down, then threw a side kick to Joe's face, missed him about that far. Point. And I went, wow, that's great. Then he moving around a little bit. All of a sudden, Chuck comes in, fakes the kicks. Joe does this, and he reverse punches him in the ribs. To me, it seemed like the match lasted 30 seconds. I'm sure it lasted more than that. But I went, Chuck Norris is a bad dude.
Yeah.
He was good, because, I mean, Joe, I don't think Joe even attempted to throw anything.
Wow.
So that's what I remember the first match they had.
Wow. So you didn't compete in that tournament, you just went there as a spectator.
Yeah, I went as a spectator and watched all guys that fight, and I'm going, that's neat.
Yeah.
This is neat. And, you know, tournaments back then, most tournaments, if you had 200 competitors, you had a lot of people.
Right.
And of those 200 competitors, maybe 15 or 20 or maybe 30 were black belts.
Very good.
I remember coming back at a tournament in Okinawa. If you're a second or a third degree black belt, you were one bad dude, because they didn't give it away. You were a bad dude. And I go to the international, I'm walking around, I'm watching guys walk around with 3 and 4 stripes on their belt, and I'm going, whoa. You know, and I'm going, no stripes or nothing. I'm going, oh, Christ, you know. So, but you know, and watch them fight, and I was totally impressed.
Very good. So,
And then the tournament's over.
Yeah.
I get in the car, I drive back home. Ball State starts about September 15th. So I drive to Ball State. Have to have a certain time that, you know,
registration
time, all that. So I registered and everything else. And I go to the registration. I get my clothes in my dorm and all that stuff, and I'm walking around. Go back to the dorm. So I said, well, I guess my career's over. I'm going to wrestle. So I went over and talked to the wrestling coach, Pete Samuels, and he said, love to have you. So I'm going to wrestle. I could beat the top guys, because I kept busy. You know, I was older, so
yeah.
I kept in good shape. Then one day, I'm over to the gym, just doing some stuff in sweats and a t-shirt, right? And this guy comes up to me. His name is Rollins. Bob Rollins, I believe it is. He says, you do martial arts? I said, yeah. He says, hey, this weekend, we're having a little get-together down in Indianapolis. We'd love to have you come and meet everybody. Love to. Where is it? He gives me the directions. And that's when the career starts.
Really? All right. So you got a little teaser there. What happened when you went to that?
I'll tell you next
Tell you
time.
next time. All right. So everybody, so we've got the story from Bill Superfoot Wallace. So join us next time when we're going to find out what happened at the other end of that invitation. So thanks so much for joining us, everyone. This is Chris Natsky with Superfoot Systems, and we'll see you next time on Superfoot Stories.